What are the visa options for cafe or restaurant managers? Unfortunately, there's always a risk of a devastating change in immigration policy. One of the big recent shocks was that cafe and restaurant manager was left off the CSOL list. So this means there's no new 482 visas or direct entry 186 visas for restaurant managers. This change is causing problems for many people's plans. For over 10 years, Work Visa Lawyers has been bringing you Australian immigration news to keep you informed. Please hit the button and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. So what are the options for restaurant managers now? The 190 or 491 are options. There's still the possibility to apply for state nomination by submitting an expression of interest for a 190 or 491 visa. To do this, you'll need a positive skills assessment as a restaurant manager, competent English, and at least 65 points. However, the challenge here is that the states have limited allocations. Most of the allocations and invitations are going towards occupations such as teachers and healthcare workers and construction and trade workers due to the housing shortage. So waiting on receiving an invitation from the states for the occupation of restaurant manager is not a reliable option. Another option is the regional 494 visa. If the cafe or restaurant is located in a regional area, there's the option of applying for a 494 visa. The 494 is a provisional visa which can lead to permanent residency after 3 years. To be eligible for the 494 visa as a cafe or restaurant manager, you must have at least 3 years full-time work experience, a positive skills assessment, and competent English. But meeting this high standard, especially 3 years of experience, can be challenging for many potential applicants. Another option for cafe and restaurant managers is to consider labour agreements. Labour agreements offer some concessions for applicants. These concessions can allow for applicants to meet relaxed requirements for visas in terms of age, work experience, English language abilities, and even permanent residency pathways for those over 45 but under 55. A labour agreement is essentially another way for an employer-sponsored visa to be put forward in terms of a 482 or 494 visa. We've got other videos explaining the steps involved in a labour agreement. There are several types of labour agreements. I will cover 3 potential relevant labour agreements for restaurant managers. Number 1, the Restaurant Premium Dining Industry Agreement. The business must have a revenue of at least $2 million per annum, must have specialised staff such as waiters, sommeliers and chefs. It must offer table service. Number 2, a Dharma. There are labour agreements for designated regional areas called Dharmas. There's been a steady increase in Dharmas and all of Western Australia, Northern Territory and South Australia are covered. But there are many areas that are not covered, including Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. The advantage of a Dharma include there can be concessions on age and English. Number 3 is company-specific labour agreements. These are for individual companies and can include the occupation of cafe and restaurant manager. This may be considered where Dharmas or industry agreements are not an option. Moving on from Dharmas, what about restaurant managers already on a 482? Can they apply for the temporary resident transition 186 for permanent residency? Now, if you're already holding a 482 visa as a cafe and restaurant manager, you can still apply for permanent residency after 2 years, if your employer nominates you. So there's no issue with the occupation no longer being on the list, you can still go ahead. However, if you want to change employers and your occupation's no longer on the core skills occupation list, you won't be able to have a new nomination approved to transfer your 482 to another employer. So you're going to need to go ahead with a temporary residence transition application with your existing employer. If you're a cafe or restaurant manager and have more questions, please leave them in the comment section below or contact us. Please like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all the latest immigration news. Thanks for watching.